Hello and welcome. Today we're going to explore a really beautiful and powerful story from the Buddhist tradition called the Mekatasa. It's this incredible tale about a great fish king, a monk who's having second thoughts, and a timeless lesson on love that really gets to the heart of where our suffering comes from.
And right away, this story gets us thinking about a really big question. What is the true source of our suffering? Is it the actual physical pain we might feel, or the tough situations we find ourselves in, or could it be something deeper, something that's actually rooted inside our own minds? Let's keep that question in mind as we dive in. So, you might be surprised to hear that our story doesn't actually start in some ancient mythical time. It begins with the Buddha himself, who noticed that one of his monks was really struggling, kind of losing his commitment to the spiritual path. It's such a human problem, isn't it? That conflict between the life you've chosen and the attachments you just can't seem to leave behind. So the Buddha asks the monk, "Hey, what's going on?" And the answer is just so relatable. It wasn't some huge spiritual crisis or a loss of faith. Nope. It was his former wife's amazing cooking. He just couldn't stop thinking about her and the comfort she represented. He was completely stuck on it. Now, the Buddha, seeing how deep this struggle went, tells the monk, this isn't a new problem for you. This exact same attachment caused you some serious trouble in a past life. And to show him what he means, he starts telling a story from a long time ago. And this is where we get to travel back in time to a big, beautiful river in a place called Varanasi. Living in this river was this magnificent fish king. He was powerful, respected, the whole deal. But he had one huge weakness. He was completely and utterly in love with his beautiful fish companion. And here we get to this critical moment where you can just see wisdom and desire go in two totally different directions. The female fish, she's swimming up ahead and she's paying attention. She smells something wrong in the water, a fisherman's net, and she wisely swims right around it. But the fish king? Oh, he's just lost in his own world, totally blinded by his feelings for her, and he just foolishly follows, swimming straight into the trap.
And just like that, his entire world is turned upside down. The fishermen feel the weight, realize they've got something huge, and they haul the net out of the water. The great fish king is ripped from his home and thrown onto the scorching hot sand, totally helpless and exposed.
And things are about to get a whole lot worse. The fishermen start getting ready for a feast. They're gathering wood, building a fire, getting a skewer ready. The fish king's fate looks completely sealed. He's about to be roasted alive. The physical danger couldn't be more real.
But right here, the story takes this really fascinating turn. Because as the fish king is lying there, facing what seems like a certain painful death, his mind isn't actually focused on the pain that's about to come. No, he's being tormented by a kind of suffering that is way bigger than any fire or any blade. You can imagine his mind just racing, right? He's feeling the shock of the cold air after the water, the burning heat of the sand, and he's anticipating the absolute agony of the fire. But none of it, compares to the anguish of this one single thought. And this is the absolute core of his pain. He's thinking to himself, the cold, the heat, this net, none of that is what's really hurting me. The real suffering is the thought that she's going to misunderstand, that she'll think I just abandoned her and swam off with another fish. That fear, the fear of being misunderstood by the one he loved, was 1,000 times worse than death itself. Just when all hope seems completely lost, a new person arrives on the scene. It's the Bodhisattva, who in this lifetime had been born as the king's own royal priest, a man known for his incredible wisdom and deep compassion. Now, this priest had a very special gift. He could understand the language of all living beings. So as he comes down to the riverbank, he hears the fish king's cries. And he doesn't just hear a fish flopping around in distress, he hears the words. He understands the precise, heartbreaking, emotional pain behind them. And because he could understand, he knew exactly what was going on. He realized the fish wasn't just afraid of dying, it was suffering from the agony of its attachment. And he knew that if the fish died in that state of mind, it would be a terrible thing. So, moved by compassion, he decided he had to step in. So the priest goes over to the fishermen and convinces them to give him the fish. He then takes the fish king, speaks to him gently, and gives him this one crucial piece of advice before setting him free back in the river.
He basically says, your desires just almost got you killed. From now on, don't let them rule you.
And with that, the Buddha finishes his story, bringing this ancient lesson all the way back into the present moment, right back to that struggling monk.
And here it is, the big aha moment. The Buddha reveals who was who in that past life. The female fish, that was the monk's former wife. The foolish, infatuated fish king who almost died because of his attachment, that was the monk himself. And the wise priest who saved him, well, that was the Buddha. You see, the exact same pattern of attachment was playing out all over again, lifetimes later. And the story worked. The light bulb just went on for the monk. Hearing how the same attachment to his wife had almost led to his death before, he finally got it. He saw his craving not just as a fondness for good cooking, but as this deep, recurring pattern that was the real source of all his trouble. And in that powerful moment of insight, he became free. So, of course, this brings the whole story right back to us, doesn't it? The Fish King was caught in a physical net, sure, but the story is asking us to think about the invisible nets that might be trapping us. What is it for you? Is it an attachment to a person, to your career, to your reputation, or maybe even just the validation you get from social media? What are the desires that are keeping us from being truly free?
And here's the real takeaway. The Fish King couldn't really avoid the fisherman's net, but his real prison was his own mind. This story teaches us that true freedom isn't about trying to build a perfect life where nothing bad ever happens. It's about developing the wisdom to see our own attachments for what they are, the real source of our suffering.
And that's our look at the Magga Jataka, just a beautiful reminder that the greatest peace we can find comes from within. Thank you so much for joining me. May you all be happy.